Go.
Hi, I'm Byron Stripling with the Columbus Jazz Orchestra, and I'm so excited to be with you once again. We've just finished rehearsing with the great Allen Toussaint, and we finished our first rehearsal for the New Orleans concert, which happens all this week. And you can tell I'm incredibly excited about the music that you're going to hear this week. We have a few minutes just with Mr. Toussaint. I have a couple questions for him. First of all, welcome. Thank you so much for being with us. It's an honor and a privilege to be with you. I got to tell you, first of all, that I discovered 2 days ago that one of my favorite songs you wrote. When I was a kid, I loved Al Hurt, and I just discovered that you wrote Java. Can you tell us a little bit about that song? That was written way back. You recorded yourself before Al did.
Absolutely. I wrote Java way back there, and at my last years of being a teenager, in fact. And it was on an album that I recorded that came out on RCA Victor. And Java was one of the songs that the guy who was producing, at least who was the talent scout, really liked, so he really pushed it forward. And Floyd Kramer recorded it after I did. And Boots Randolph, hearing Floyd Kramer play it, told Al Hurt's manager, you ought to take that song and record it on Al Hurt, and he'll go to the moon. And sure enough, he did, and thanks to Boots Randolph, Al Hurt recorded.
So every time you saw Boots, you probably gave him a big hug.
I've never seen Boots in my whole life.
Are you serious?
Never. I've known about him all my life because he's from our area.
Right.
But I never met him.
Well, you're going to do so many songs that the people all know and then love. And one of the fun things about getting to know you is that all these songs keep coming up, and I never knew that you were the composer of them. I'm always listening to the artist, you know. That's been the incredible thing for me. I want to point out one that I love so much. I have Joe Williams singing it. Get Out of My Life, Woman.
Oh, yes.
And I got to tell you, this was my theme song for so many years, because what it did for me was it spoke to, you know, you in those relationships with some people that you don't need to be in there,
Well,
and they holding you back. No, was that your motivation for writing that?
no.
No?
If it was, I wouldn't tell you. In fact, when I do my set on my own, generally, because this is the most re-recorded song of mine that I've written, and I always say that I'm not sure why, because 5 minutes after I wrote that song, I changed my mind. I thought this should not be said. But then the groove was nice.
Yeah.
And I wrote it for Lee Dorsett to sing, and he did such a marvelous job.
Right.
So it had to be present.
Well, Flo, I got to just tell you, for me in my life, whenever I got with a woman that was messing with me, I said, get out of my life, woman. I got to move on up to the top. Just get out of my way. And it meant so much to me. So I just wanted to thank you personally for writing that, because that was my theme song 3 or 4 times in my life.
I understand. Thank you.
I want to finish up with asking you about the song that we're going to close the show with. I heard Glenn Campbell sing it when I was a kid, and it means so much to me. It means so much to the people out there. Can you just tell us a few words about Southern Nights?
Southern Nights. It's a very dear song to me, and usually when people in interviews ask, you have a favorite song? And generally we don't, but just for the moment, I always say Southern Nights, because it's a song that's true to form, and it's a culmination of many things that happened when I was a child growing up and visiting the old folk out in the country,
Yes.
the old Creole-speaking people.
Yeah.
I loved going out there, and Southern Night is that. Everything about it is totally true, and it's part of that story, and there'll never be a night long enough to tell that whole story.
Sure.
But Southern Night addresses that.
Well, I think it's going to be fun tonight to hear Southern Nights, because you have a whole story that you do with that. I think you'll do a little bit of that tonight.
I will.
Which I've heard you do. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't contain ourselves with the excitement that we have tonight to be with Mr. Allen Toussaint. He'll be with us all week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 2 times on Sunday. You can't miss it. This is a New Orleans Mardi Gras party, and we hope that you'll join us there. Thank you so much, Mr. Toussaint.
Well, let me say, with this orchestra that you put together here, this music has never sounded so good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.